This is, as I say, a unique experience in a television studio in these days of the late 20th century, because we go back to the hearth, back to the fireside, to the warm glow, to the floating flute in the twilight, to the gentle whisper of conversation, to the furting lowering of the lamp before the rosary, and the last whispered words of a great folk tale. How do we begin? We begin, I suppose, with the people who mattered most to the folk. Some would call them the fairies, but we had a discussion on this and we decided not that at all, not for us. The good folk, the good people, God's gentry. And we have with us a man here who knows more about them than most. He's written books about them, Dr Paddy Logan. Paddy, how do we have good people, good folk, gentry?
Well, now, before I say that, Donncha, let me say this, that until, say, nearly the year 1800, it wasn't a matter of ignorant peasant belief. Philosophers, great literary figures, believed in and wrote books about the fairies. You see, the idea that the fairies are an absurd survival is quite wrong and a complete misunderstanding of them, because theologians and philosophers spent their lives thinking about them. And one of the greatest poems in Irish is the Cailleach Bhearra, and she was, as you know, a fairy queen. Now, having said that, the origin of the fairies are the good people. In my view, they were the gods, the pre-Christian gods of the Celtic Irish. And when Christianity came, they didn't destroy them, they banished them to the fairy mounds. And that story is told in a 15th century manuscript. The text is comparatively easy to read. It tells that after the Tuatha De Danann were defeated by the Milesians, their leaders were summoned by Manon MacLir, and he gave each of them his own fairy mound. One of them was sent to Jim Sweeney's neighbourhood, to what is now Slieve Gallery. Another would have been sent to what's now Newgrange, Doonangus, and so on. They were scattered all over the country. Finvarra was sent to Knockma in County Galway. And these are the people who are now, these are the places where are now the fairy mounds, and where the fairy king or fairy queen took over and rules. And there they are still. And that is, in my view,